Hello students, welcome back. So in human reproduction के first lecture में हम study कर चुके हैं male reproductive system. So it is the continuation of the same chapter, human reproduction. For the topic is female reproductive system. Female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, oviducts or a fallopian tubes it is also called, uterus, cervix, vagina and the external genitalia. These are the structures or the components of the female reproductive system that we will take up step by step all the structures in the details. Female reproductive system, which is present in the pelvic region, pelvic stands, for the hip region, and the main primary sex organ of the female is ovaries. Just repeating, the structures we are going to take up is ovary, oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, and external genitalia. But along with this, or associated with this, that is female reproductive structures, there is present a pair of mammary glands, and these two structures, they work in an integrated manner, means they work together. We can say structurally and functionally. They work together. Repeating, फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम के जो कंपोनेंट्स हैं उसके साथ ही एसोसिएटेड है ब्रेस्ट और मैमरी ग्लैंड्स, और ब्रेस्ट और मैमरी ग्लैंड्स along with the other female reproductive organs work in an integrated manner. मतलब ये दोनों चीज़ें मिलकर काम करती हैं, कैसे? स्ट्रक्चरली भी और फंक्शनली भी. फॉर व्हाट? फॉर और टू सपोर्ट ओव्यूलेशन, मतलब formation or the release of the ova, for fusion of a gametes, that is fertilization. So if it is there, then pregnancy, and then is the birth or the child care. It is. These are the, that is any processes which work in an integrated manner associated with the parts of the female reproductive system, and along with that parts of the female reproductive system is associated is breast or the mammary glands. Is it okay? So starting with the first is the number 1, the main primary sex organ of the female reproductive system is ovaries. Ovaries, which is present in the lower abdomen region, approximately 2 to 4 centimeter in a length, and is connected to the, that is uterus, as well as to the pelvic region or to the abdominal wall with the help of a ligaments. Means with the help of the fine membranes, it is connected to the, that is uterus also, as well as to the, that is pelvic wall or a abdominal wall. The main function of that ovaries, that's why it's called the primary sex organ. The main function of the ovaries is to produce ovum. Ovary का main function क्या है? To produce the gamete. What is the female gamete is called? A ovum. Plus, it is the ovaries only which produces the female sex hormone also. That is the female sex hormones, is the estrogen, progesterone. and chemically these ovarian hormones or female sex hormones are steroid in nature. Repeating, female sex hormones कौन produce कर रहे हैं? It is only ovaries. And very important word is, although you have done in 11th class, कि chemical nature hormones की क्या है. So this is NCERT word है, very important word, कि फीमेल सेक्स हार्मोन्स और इवन द मेल सेक्स हार्मोन्स को बनाने के लिए क्या चाहिए? स्टीरॉयड. एंड व्हाट इज दैट स्टीरॉयड? यू नो फ्रॉम वेयर इट इज फॉर्म? फ्रॉम द फैट. और स्टीरॉयड क्या है? इज अ टाइप ऑफ अ फैट. तो केमिकल नेचर फॉर द सेक्स हार्मोन्स क्या है? फैट्स. सो फैट इज और फैट शुड बी द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट ऑफ योर डाइट. इज इट ओके? Because that help in the production of the male or a female sex hormones it is. Clear about this part? Next, coming to the internal structure, just at the few points associated with this ovary. Ovary is lined by a layer of a cuboidal epithelium. Means name the epithelium which lines the ovaries. It is cuboidal epithelium. Cells are cube in shape. As that is a germinal epithelium or a cuboidal epithelium is going to form the eggs. So cuboidal epithelium के लिए which word we can also use this? Germinal epithelium. And internally, the epithelium encloses in it the matrix. That inner matrix is called as a stroma. That stroma is differentiated into outer cortex and inner medulla. Is it okay? Repeating. But this structure we are going to take up in the detail in the next part of oogenesis. Ovary का ये जो 2 पॉइंट्स हैं इसमें वी आर गोइंग टू टेक अप इज द टीएस ऑफ द ओवरीज. मतलब ट्रांसफर सेक्शन ऑफ ओवरी जब हम कट करेंगे तो उसमें वी कैन सी दैट कि अंदर से इट इज़ लाइंड बाय क्यूबॉइडल एपिथेलियम और उसके अंदर है 2 पार्ट्स, दैट इज़ कॉर्टेक्स एंड मेडुला. तो कॉर्टेक्स एंड मेडुला किसका पार्ट है? मैट्रिक्स का. मैट्रिक्स को क्या बोलते हैं? दैट इज़ stroma it is. Clear? So ovaries leads into the oviduct. Second structure associated with the female reproductive system is a oviduct. Oviduct or the fallopian tubes, understood, it is paired from both the sides. It is Oviducts are approximately 10 to 12 centimeter long, ciliated, muscular, tubular structures. Just repeating, understood, it is muscular. It's a tube-like and internally is lined or having a cilia that facilitates the movement of the egg or a sperm. First is for the egg and then for fertilization is for the sperm also. That is for the oviduct. Coming to the oviduct components. Oviduct के further 3 parts हैं. Number 1 है infundibulum. Number 2 है that is the ampulla. And number 3 is isthmus. Can have a look to the diagram here now. So ovaries में जो ओवा बन रहा है उसको रिसीव कौन कर रहा है? ओविडक्ट. और ओविडक्ट का जो फर्स्ट पार्ट है उसका नाम है इनफंडिबुलम. इसका मतलब ही क्या होता है? फनल शेप. दिस पार्ट इज अ ब्रॉड फनल शेप्ड. कैन हैव अ लुक टू दिस डायग्राम. बहुत क्लियर दिख रहा है कि इट इज जस्ट एट द टिप, मीन्स नेक्स्ट टू द ओवरीज. इसमें क्या है? फिंगर लाइक प्रोसेसेस है. दीज फिंगर लाइक प्रोसेसेस आर कॉल्ड फिम्ब्रे. तो फिम्ब्रे का क्या फंक्शन होगा? that is collection of the or to collect the ova for ovulation. It is after the ovulation for fertilization के लिए. Is it okay? फिम्ब्री इनफंडिबुलम के आगे फिंगर लाइक प्रोसेसेस है. इसने ओवम को कलेक्ट करना है. दैट इज आफ्टर ओव्यूलेशन. ओवम फिर वो ट्रेवल करेगा ओविडक्ट से एंड देन इट इज आफ्टर अ फर्टिलाइजेशन दैट इज यूटरस में इसका इम्प्लांटेशन होता है फर्टिलाइज्ड एग का. I think this track is very clear from this diagram now. This diagram is not a NCERT diagram, okay? But to give, this is giving you a very clear picture for the infundibulum. उसके बाद second part again very clear है कि ये broad है और long है. That second part of the oviduct is called ampulla. That ampulla then leads into the narrow part, ciliated part, which joins with the uterus. जो uterus में entry कर रहा है, that part is called isthmus. Is it okay? Just repeating, can overview कर लें इस part को कि oviduct के 3 parts हैं. कौन कौन से? infundibulum, सेकेंड है एम्पुला, थर्ड है isthmus. Is it okay? That is the 3 parts of the fallopian tube or the oviduct it is. The third part of the female reproductive system is the uterus, which is commonly called as the womb of the mother. It is single hollow structure and it is muscular or inverted pear shaped structure. It is, just repeating, uterus which is single and hollow, commonly called as a womb. It is in a shape, it is inverted pear shaped. It consists of 3 parts, that is upper dome shaped part of it is called a fundus. Middle broad part is called the body and the narrow lower part is called cervix. Just repeating again. यूट्रस के 3 पार्ट्स हैं. नंबर 1 ऊपर ब्रॉड है, डूम शेप्ड है, फंडस. नंबर 2 इज बॉडी एंड नंबर 3 इज cervix. And the cervix encloses in it a cavity and that cavity is called cervical canal. Can have a look to the inner diagram. सर्विक्स में सर्वाइकल कैनाल है और ये सर्वाइकल कैनाल कॉन्टिन्यूस है इन द वेजाइना में. एंड दीज 2 स्ट्रक्चर्स कलेक्टिवली इज कॉल्ड द बर्थ कैनाल. बर्थ कैनाल मीन्स थ्रू विच द रिलीज ऑफ द बेबी इज देयर. इज इट ओके? सो उसके बाद हमारे यूट्रस के मेन पार्ट, मिडल पार्ट, बॉडी, जिसमें 3 लेयर्स हैं. दैट 3 लेयर्स आर, नंबर 1 फ्रॉम आउटसाइड टू द इनसाइड चलेंगे. आउटर थिन मैम्ब्रेनस लेयर इज कॉल्ड पेरीमेट्रियम. नंबर 2 myometrium, which is middle thick layer of the smooth muscles. Muscles means which brings about the delivery of a baby at the end of a pregnancy, or it brings about the strong contractions that's called as a labor pains, due to which the release of the baby is there at the end of parturition. This is myo का मतलब क्या होता है? Muscles. Third layer is called endo. Endo का मतलब अंदर, inside, that is endometrium. It is inner glandular layer. So इस layer में it is shown in the diagram also कि glands है अंदर की तरफ. तो glands हैं तो that is produces the secretions, and it is the endometrium layer which undergo the changes every month. The cyclic changes it undergo, that is during the menstrual cycle it is. The monthly changes which takes place in that menstrual cycle, that is in the endometrium. That again we will take up this sentence in details in the menstrual cycle in the next topic. It is in the next separate lecture it will be for you. Is it okay? Next structure of the female reproductive system is the vagina. It is a long tube of approximately 10 centimeter, which is a continuation from the cervix, means it extends from the cervix and opens out through an aperture named as vaginal orifice. And it is covered over by the thin membrane called hymen. Just repeating, vagina long tube hai, cervix lead into vagina, that's all. So this is, you have seen in the previous diagram also. The main function of vagina is to receive the sperm during a sex act or a intercourse. It is also a birth canal, or it forms a birth canal along with the cervix for the release or the delivery of the baby, that is a parturition, and it is for allowing the menstrual flow or a monthly cycle. So, two fallopian tubes, uterus plus vagina. These three structures collectively constitute or forms the female accessory ducts. Just repeating, two fallopian tubes or the oviduct which lead into uterus, uterus leads into vagina. These structures collectively forms the duct which help in the, first of all, transport of the egg, and then if it is a pregnancy is there, fertilization takes place there, and pregnancy is there, that is in the uterus implantation, and then through the vagina it is the, which is forming the birth canal also. These constitutes the female accessory ducts. Is it okay? So coming to the next, the last component of the female reproductive system is external genitalia, or also called as the vulva. External genitalia consist of mons pubis, labia minora and majora, and clitorius. Plus understood, it is the vagina, it encloses in it an aperture is vagina, which is covered by the membrane called hymen, which I have already taken up with you in the vagina. Okay, so to study about this female genitalia, first is you should know this diagram. This is the sectional, diagrammatic sectional view of the female pelvis region showing the reproductive system. But along with the reproductive system, this diagram also explains about the other systems associated with the reproductive system in this diagram. Coming to that, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इस डायग्राम को डिस्कस कर रहे हैं, इस डायग्राम से ही इसकी थियरी पिकअप कर रहे हैं. सो स्टार्टिंग विद फर्स्ट लेबलिंग ऊपर से ले रहे हैं, क्या है, यूटरस, ऑलरेडी टेकन अप. यूटरस लीड्स टू सर्विक्स, सर्विक्स leads to vagina, and vagina opens out through an aperture called vaginal orifice. This vaginal orifice opens in the midline of the vulva or external genitalia. Means vagina की opening is in the region called external genitalia. Is it okay? ये female reproductive system center में आ गया. To make this diagram, I think आप labeling को follow करो one by one. Number 1 हम अगर टेकअप करें तो यूट्रस, यूट्रस के बाद सर्विक्स, सर्विक्स के बाद वेजाइना, और फिर वेजाइना की ओपनिंग इज कॉल्ड वेजाइनल ऑरिफाइस. ठीक है. सो ये था फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम जो हम टेकअप कर रहे हैं. और इस ओपनिंग के इन फ्रंट इज प्रेजेंट, दैट इज द यूरेथ्रल ऑरिफाइस. Means it is the opening from the urethra. So अब second part ऊपर से ले रहे हैं फिर से for the labeling. Second part labeling का कौन सा ले रहे हैं? urinary bladder. Urinary bladder का मतलब क्या हुआ? This is a excretory system. The duct from the urinary bladder is urethra, and it opens into an aperture called urethral aperture. मीन्स इस मिड लाइन में 2 अपर्चर्स हैं, सेपरेट हैं, वन फॉर एक्सक्रीटरी, वन फॉर रिप्रोडक्टिव. These labelings up to this is clear to you? I think needs to repeat or is it okay? I think it should be. बीच में हम ले रहे हैं, एक बार रिपीट कर रहे हैं, रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम. इसके आगे की तरफ ले रहे हैं एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम. ये दोनों सिस्टम सेपरेट अपर्चर से ओपन कर रहे हैं. आगे है यूरेथ्रल अपर्चर्स एंड पीछे आ रहा है वेजाइनल अपर्चर, और ऑरिफाइस और अपर्चर है इसका मतलब. ये जो अपर्चर्स हैं उसके ऊपर थिन फोल्ड्स, फ्लैशी फोल्ड्स हैं, थिन फोल्ड है. दैट फोल्ड ऑफ अ स्किन इज कॉल्ड अ लेबिया माइनोरा. सो अब आप नीचे से अगर लेबलिंग को पिक करें तो वेजाइनल ऑरिफाइस और वेजाइनल अपर्चर. वेजाइनल अपर्चर के और वेजाइनल अपर्चर के लिए जो फोल्ड है उस फोल्ड का नाम है लेबिया माइनोरा. इस लेबिया माइनोरा को ऊपर से कवर कर रहा है कौन? दैट इज द एक और फोल्ड है स्किन का. दैट वन मोर फोल्ड ऑफ अ फ्लैशी फोल्ड वी कैन से ऑफ द टिश्यू इज कॉल्ड लेबिया मेजोरा. लेबिया माइनोरा से ही आगे की तरफ a finger-like projection is there above the urethral aperture. We can say it is coming. This a tiny finger-like structure is called clitorius. And over this labia majora is that is the cushion of a fatty tissue which is covered by the skin or the hairs is called mons pubis. It is. So this diagram gives you the explanation for external genitalia, or other name for the external genitalia is vulva. Okay. So एक बार इस डायग्राम को फिर से रिपीट कर रहे हैं. इस डायग्राम में 3 सिस्टम्स का सेक्शनल व्यू कुछ कुछ शो किया गया है. मिडल में रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम. आई थिंक इट शुड बी नाउ क्लियर टू यू, राइट? रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम के आगे की तरफ आ रहा है एक्सक्रीटरी सिस्टम, मीन्स यूरिनरी ब्लैडर एंड यूरेथ्रल अपर्चर. रिप्रोडक्टिव सिस्टम की बैक की तरफ ओपन कर रहा है, लीड कर रहा है और प्रेजेंट है डाइजेस्टिव सिस्टम, मीन्स रेक्टम एंड द एनस. So means in the females there are present 3 separate apertures for all the 3 systems. Reproductive system का separate aperture है, urinary system is separate and digestive system opens out through the separate apertures. I think this diagram is now very clear to you. Okay, next is mammary glands, means the breast or the mammary glands. Mammary glands is the characteristic or the diagnostic feature for the class Mammalia. Means the class Mammalia is having a mammary glands, milk glands, and with that milk they take care for or they feed their young ones, and that shows the parental care. That is a diagnostic feature for the class Mammalia it is. Mammary glands are actually the modified sweat glands, and internally the mammary glands consist of a glandular tissue and a variable amount of fatty tissue or a fat. Just repeating, mammary glands किसी से बनती हैं? दो स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं. वन इज ग्लैंडुलर टिश्यू, ग्लैंड्स जो मिल्क प्रोड्यूस करेंगी और इसको सपोर्ट कर रहा है फ्रॉम द साइड, फ्रॉम ऑल अराउंड इट इज अ फैट. So glandular tissue of the each breast is divided into approximately 15 to 20 mammary lobes. Means in the breast, in each breast, a pair of a breast, and in each breast is present 15 to 20 mammary lobes. Can have a look to the diagram for it. So mammary lobes. In the mammary lobes is present cells called alveoli, which secrete the milk, and it is in its cavity the milk is stored. That is alveoli. It means in the alveoli the temporary storage for the milk takes place. It is after the release of the baby only the milk release start under the control of the hormones it is. That we will take up at the end of this lecture. At the end of this chapter we can say, better way, not in this video, in this lecture. So just repeating, mammary glands में फर्स्ट पार्ट था ग्लैंडुलर टिश्यू. किसी से बन रहा है? मैमरी लोब्स. कितना नंबर है? 15 to 20. और मैमरी लोब्स में प्रेजेंट है सेल्स कॉल्ड एल्विलाई विच सिक्रीट द मिल्क. सो ऊपर से फिर लेबलिंग्स को आप फॉलो कर सकते हो इन द सेम सीक्वेंस आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन अबाउट. एल्विलाई से डक्ट्स निकल रही हैं कॉल्ड, that is the mammary ducts. Mammary ducts then leads into the mammary ampulla. As you know, ampulla term we use for certain swelling. Swollen हो गई है ट्यूब्स आगे, पहले narrow थी. Ampullas then leads into again the fine ducts called lactiferous duct, and through which the milk is sucked out. Is it okay? Just repeating now from the diagram आप फॉलो करें. मैमरी लोब्स में एल्व्यूलाइज है. एल्व्यूलाई की डक्ट को बोल रहे हैं दैट इज अ मैमरी डक्ट. तो तीनों वर्ड्स आ गए आपके कहाँ से? मैमरी फॉर द मिल्क, मैमरी लोब, मैमरी एल्व्यूलस, मैमरी डक्ट. ठीक है, ये तीनों इकट्ठे हो जाएंगी आपकी लेबलिंग्स. फिर डक्ट की आगे थोड़ी सी स्वेलिंग दिख रही है आपको, स्वोलन हो गई हैं, और दी स्वोलन स्ट्रक्चर्स ऑफ दैट डक्ट इज कॉल्ड एम्पुला. और एम्पुला फिर लीड कर रही हैं इनटू द फाइन डक्ट्स कॉल्ड लैक्टिफेरस डक्ट्स which opens at the tip, that is, and the nipple region we can say it is. Over the mammary lobes, there is present the fats or a adipose tissue. That fat is labeled at the top of this diagram. And on the other side, what is shown here, this is a sectional view again, a diagrammatic sectional view of the mammary glands है ये. तो back पे what is shown here, back is having a shoulder, shoulder का मतलब it is a pectoral girdle. तो वहाँ की जो muscles हैं named as a pectoralis, major muscles. And in the thorax region, you know, there is present a thoracic basket or a rib cage. And in the 12 ribs is present the 11 pair of muscles. Means the labeling is shown on the other side, a sectional view है, तो ribs को transverse section में round structures is shown, ribs. और बीच के area में it is shown is the rib muscles or muscles between the ribs.